Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
9 times out of 10, they will have not thought about the bigger picture. They will have not thought of being a small cog in a big, huge organization. The way you sell it to them, it's going to be a worldwide organization. We're going to capture the market, and the same words that are used in the executive summaries and the stuff, the paperwork that you got from before. They have never thought about that, and when they think about it, most people would like to be part of something bigger if it's successful, not if it's not successful. And she's still young enough to work. She's a kid, and I'm confident that he can make it work for him because it works all over. Okay, who's next? Well, no, if the banks tell you 5 to 7, you can say 3 to 5. Because most of these deals don't pencil at 7 without seller's finance. I mean, you can pay more than 7 when they take back seller's equity, or you take seller's equity. Because remember, the banks aren't telling you where the equity has to come from. They don't say, you mooch meathead, QLA dipshit, have got to put in the equity. They only say, you meathead, QLA dipshit, have to present equity. It doesn't have to be yours. But over the, I don't know about centuries, but over the decades, it naturally assumes when they say loan to value that the difference is being put up by you. That's wrong. They just want to put up. It doesn't matter who the shit it comes from. It's just implicit in the industry and decades of practice. They think it's you.
But they never tell you that.
No. And half the banks will accept it, half won't. But more banks accept seller's equity today than did 10 years ago. Okay, I'm not saying we're overwhelming the financial world, but we certainly are getting more recognition because, I'm not suggesting you do it this way. And when I say seller's equity, what do you mean? And then I said, could you show me where in the loan document it says it's my equity? Could you please? Let's go through the loan. I got a few minutes. Let's go through the loan document. And, well, you're right. They might not say you're right, but there's no place in those documents does it say you, meathead, got to put up the money. And I'm not suggesting the seller is a meathead, but if they are motivated enough, I mean, taking a seller's note isn't the worst thing that ever happened to them. It isn't. They may squeal and whine and bitch about it, but it's not. And it makes our job 1,000 times easier. It just does. It just does. Okay, go ahead.
All right, hi, everyone. My name is and I'm currently rolling up assisted living. Yeah.
Unheard of. Can't believe it.
And now this deal I'm going to present, I got through cold calling. So very simple.
Cold calling. Unbelievable.
So cold called the owner. He tells me he's 77 years old. He's had the
now he's an old man, the 77 guy.
Yeah, so he's had the home for about 20, 30 years, and he works there 6 days a week, so he really wants to stop working.
Jesus Christ, good.
Motivated seller.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, so initially I thought motivated seller, slam dunk, so I set up the meeting. I told him, give me the financials, last 3 years' numbers, tax returns, and he sent me those all fairly quickly, and the numbers matched.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm. And the revenue was 1.58 million, and EBITDA 270,000. So there was no asking price because it wasn't listed with a broker or anything like that. So
no broker. Ooh, I'm getting excited.
So yeah, at the meeting, I go to him, I talk to him, and all I did initially was offer him 4 to 6 times EBITDA. So 1.08 million to 1.6, and that's 100% sellers financed over 5 years.
Oh, I'm gonna have a stroke.
Yeah, so 100% over 5 years, yearly payments 130,000, and then a balloon at the end. So initially, what he told me was, well, first of all, because he's 77, I was hoping he would come in like with a stroller or like in a wheelchair or something. But he actually comes in like with a suit.
He's healthy.
Yeah, he's healthy. Yeah. So I find out he's an accountant, so he has some business acumen, he has some other business interests, and he doesn't really seem desperate for the money. And his initial objection to this 5-year note was very simply, I'm 77, I don't know if I'm going to be alive in 5 years, so I don't want to wait that long to get the money. And I even offered him kind of to work out something over 3.5 years, which was still kind of iffy. And it didn't really go anywhere from there. But then recently, about a week and a half ago, he comes back to me and he's like, look, I don't want to wait more than 3 years for the payments. And not only that, but now he wants 2.3 million for the business.
As opposed to,
The 4 to 6, which was a million to 1.6.
oh, because he wants 2.3.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's talking to somebody.
And he wants it shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay, but over 3 years, you can work with that. The, okay.
Yeah. He said he had another interested party at 2.3, so that's where he got the number from.
Yeah, they always do.
They always have a, yeah, they always have
He likes
a,
you. He likes you.
yeah, and but he likes you. Yeah. No, he's an Indian guy that lives in Adelaide.
Not that kind of like.
Yeah, so he can't come back. He came back at 2.3 million. So he's essentially dictating the price and the terms, which doesn't really work with the QLA model. And like Dan said,
Okay, but you can count it from 2.3. I mean, originally it was 1 to 1.6.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is 1.9? How many EBITDA, times EBITDA is that? 7 or 8?
probably something like that.
Okay, but I mean,
3.5.
but it's 100% seller finance.
You name the price, I'll name the
The
terms.
terms.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're not dealing with a bank. No bank committee. You know, and so the deal still sounds like it's doable.
But that's only if he'll come down to 1.8.
Well, now you can do a little spreadsheet, or you can have our engineer do a spreadsheet, or one of our MBAs or our PhD do a spreadsheet. He's been hiding. He knows how to do spreadsheets. So don't be hiding, Alex. And but now it's a time that now it's a horse race. As long as it's 100% finance, guys, seller finance, it's almost always a horse race. I mean, that's magic. And the fact that, you know, he's balked at the higher price. But I mean, interest for a year, interest in principal for the second year, and a balloon at the end of the third year. He doesn't want to wait more than 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll give you a balloon by that time you're refinancing it. And once in a while when they see you refinance it, and they realize what you've done. Everything legal, moral, and ethical. But he's a trained numbers guy. And trained numbers guys don't even come up with this. So, but he's 70, you know, he's old. He's older than I am. And so, like with Josh, I mean, some of these older people, you know, they want to help the kids out. You know, I think I told you that Josh got handed by the seller a suitcase of $40,000 cash to close his first deal because they made a mistake on the numbers. And the seller gave him 40 grand. Handshake. Give it to me when you can. You go, Josh, the teenager, all smiling like this, you know. And sometimes good things happen. Now, sometimes the old man says, come and spend the weekend with me. That's a whole other story. I'm not going there. But but I mean, this is doable. This is doable. As long as it's 100% seller finance. None of your money, none of the bank's money. Now, you're not going to be able to pull out any money, and you're not going to be able to pay the board. But the board will love this. I mean, this is a deal that can be done in a matter of days, a few weeks at the very most. And without, is it northern UK or southern UK?
It's Midlands, West Midlands.
Okay.
Is there a limit to how big the balloon can be?
No. You're thinking in the right direction now. No, there's no limit. Now, are there laws to protect the elderly? Yes. This doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, he's an accountant. He's this, that. He's got other business interests. He's healthy. He came in a suit. Huh? That's unusual. He might have read my book. So that sounds good. That sounds good.
So,
And how long you did this with a cold call?
yeah.
Jeezy, Wazy, it's unbelievable when you pick up the phone. You know, magic happens. You know, instead of doing an extra spreadsheet, just pick up the phone. That's good, but he came back to you in a couple of weeks, right?
2 weeks, yeah.
He's motivated. He's motivated because he's thought about it. Contrary to what he says, he's got another seller, 2, 3. That's horse shit.
Why doesn't he take it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you take it, old timer? You know, don't say that to him. I'm his contemporary. I could say, well, old timer, why don't you take it? Sounds like a good deal to you. For you, I should say. That's good. Okay, YouTube. See you later.